YouTube. Today, more Diggersby and Dedenne action. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. And make sure you check out the team with the rental code on your screen, available for 2 weeks. Paste been available in the description down below. But otherwise, also let me know what you think about Series 12 so far. It's been out for probably a couple days now. Not officially on the ladder, but you can play it on Showdown ladder. And a lot of players have been like fear crafting. A lot of tournaments have been available online. Apparently they're like opening all these tournaments. Let me know what you think about it and what you think of the format. But otherwise, let's get started and play some games. Okay, so we got pretty much a Sun Calyrex team, but there's a Mudsdale. Don't know what that really means here. Aleki is a bit of an issue though. Aleki is a pretty big problem. So this matchup might be the Diggersby time. It might be Diggersby time. Diggersby is Zapdos. If they lead the Venusaur, I could always outplay it by going out into like Kyogre, which I think is optimal. I haven't seen her in the back. I would like Amoonguss a lot here because I would love the Sport Red and the Torkoal. I would also like the Rage Powder to redirect attacks from like my Pokemon. But I think this is an okay trade-off here. Unless they lead Aleki. Well, if they lead Aleki plus Calyrex, I might make a really crazy play. And I mean a really crazy play with the Dynamax Diggersby. Let's see if this works though. If they lead the Sun mode, this could be like a... This is going to be an interesting game. It just really comes down to lead. I have a few ideas of what they want to do. Let's see. It's NDD plus Calyrex. Okay, that's fine. Airstream EQ looks really solid here. Unless this is Trick Room Calyrex. But NDD probably has Trick Room too. So, as one is going to go off first. I don't remember if like ability... I don't remember this ability. I don't think it speed checks with anything. So yeah, I'm just going to Airstream EQ here. Oh! Okay, so it's not Choice Scarf on the NDD. That's pretty huge, actually. So we're going to go for Airstream and EQ into their what's it called? NDD male. Because we don't want Trick Room going up here. And I'm assuming if anything's Trick Room, it's the NDD. I mean, this is a weird spot, right? Because I don't know how much the Astral Barrage is going to do. Well, it's not Astral Barrage. Expanding Force. That's the fear. Helping Hand Expanding Force would be a nightmare. But we'll see. This is male entity though, so they might have Trick Room in prison. Not too sure. Like, I just don't know what the set would be. I could see Shadow Ball on this team because this team might be a little bit weak to opposing Shadow Riders without Shadow Ball on the NDD. So that could be like a interesting option here, but we'll see. Expanding Force. Okay, perfect. That's choice specs, right? That did so much. Able to pick up the knockout to NDD with Earthquake, I'd imagine. Okay, this should do a lot to Calyrex as well. So Earthquake gonna come out. This is some big chip damage into both. Cool. Okay, we are able to pick up the knockout. Thankfully, I ran Assault Vest on my Diggersby because I don't think I would have survived that otherwise. That has to be specs. Actually, I don't even know if it's specs. Astral Barrage and Expanding Force inside terrain is just crazy. Mudsdale comes out. What? Okay. I'm gonna Airstream EQ. It's like my best play. Okay, I wonder what... Okay. Diggersby, pick up the knockouts, please. Earthquake, Airstream. This is perfect, actually. Like, this situation is actually perfect. Because I think it's like Specs Calyrex. So I don't think it can switch. So something's going down here. I guess if they go hard, Torkoal is fine too. Because I just go for Water Spout pretty freely. I get pretty good damage off into Mudsdale as well, and I'm guaranteed faster. Oh wait, no, there's one play that can screw me over. It's such a random play though, or is it random? I don't think it's like an optimal play in this situation because I think you need a knockout with Mudsdale. But if you max guard with Mudsdale and attack with the Calyrex, I guess that's a bit of a problem, huh? I guess that's a bit of a problem, huh? Please don't have max guard, please. I don't think you should max guard here. I think you should always take a KO here. Because you're not like threatened by a knockout here. This is probably like the best like mons you could take attacks off of. Okay, cool. And we confirm it's not Scarf Calyrex, but I kind of doubted it was Scarf Calyrex. Airstream does a really solid amount of Mudsdale. What ability are you? I'm curious. Probably Inner Focus or Stamina item, or not Stamina. What's the other own Tempo? But I don't know if they have Swagger on this team, so I'm thinking it's more likely Inner Focus. Earthquake gonna come out, knock out the Calyrex. Beautiful. The Calyrex goes down, and we're gonna see a Axe Knuckle into Diggersby. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Unless there's like crazy luck, and I mean really crazy luck, we should have this game sealed. I guess if it's Venusaur back, this could be a bit concerning. It's Life Orb on that. Interesting. Okay, we go Incineroar here. I mean, even if it's Venusaur, I think I win. Yeah, it's Venusaur, not Torkoal. Okay. I always just Airstream the Venusaur slot, and I think I always click Fake Out into the Venusaur slot. Its own tempo. Okay, so they probably have Swagger on their team in some sort of fashion. But that's fine. Let me think about this. Is it Swagger Eliki or is it Swagger Entity? I feel like it's one of the two probably then. I mean, my play is always just to Airstream here, right? I think it's always to Airstream the Venusaur for sure, because the chip damage might be really important. And I guess Fake Out this. It's like the Mudsdale does no damage, and the chip into Venusaur is really important for Kyogre, Water Spout to come in and sweep. My Kyogre is always faster than Venusaur too. They max guard with Mudsdale. Oh, they're going for like a Sleep Powder Prey. How am I so dumb that I forgot about Psychic Terrain? I mean, it doesn't change anything. At the end of the day, I still win. But how did I literally forgot that Psychic Terrain was there. I don't know. I just glanced over the fact that there's Psychic Terrain. Oh, thankfully it didn't cost the game at all. Let's see what they did here. It's probably Sleep Powder though. Oh, Weather Ball. Doesn't pick up a knockout though. Okay, yeah, this game's over. I might not even need to reveal Kyogre in the back. I think I just go for Heat Wave and Waters. I go for Heat Wave here. Fire Shot's always a choke. Is it Flare Blitz or Darkest Lariat? I feel like with Life Orb on Mudsdale, I probably don't KO anyway, so I might as well just go for Flare Blitz. Okay, let me think about this. If I miss, I mean, Kyogre sweeps up the game, right? I guess I'd rather not miss a Venusaur though, so I just T-Bolt that slot. And I guess I'll just Flare Blitz to Mudsdale. Yeah, that's always the safest play regardless. A reveal Protect, that's fine. So yeah, I could have went. I mean, there's really, I just don't see how they beat Kyogre. Like they had to be Quick Claw on one of these mons, but we already saw the items. We saw Coba Berry on the Venusaur, and we saw the Life Orb on the Mudsdale. So 100% can't. They go for Steel Spike in the Zapdos. Is that for like Incineroar taking the next Flare Blitz? I mean, you're still going down to Flare Blitz. Well, you don't go down to Flare Blitz. There's Kyogre Rain. Darkest Lariat would KO you though. Okay. So unless I don't see how they win. Yeah, they needed like any specific held item like Quick Claw or some Bright Powder gambling luck to win this game. Kyogre comes in. It's gonna swamp your team with this Water Spout. Goodbye. Say goodnight. Easy clap. I go for Water Spout and Lariat into Mudsdale. I mean, Water Spout just wins. It doesn't matter who I should target the Lariat. I think I go for Mudsdale. Maybe it was actually Venusaur because Weather Ball is 100% accurate. I'm assuming it's high horsepower. Yeah, so I mean, doesn't matter at the end of the day. I'm still kind of mad at myself that I faked out in Psychic Terrain just because I didn't even notice it on the battlefield. So I was like, oh, this game's over. I mean, the game was pretty much over at that point. I didn't see a way they came back. Yeah, I just can't. Other than like cheeky item on Venusaur, since we already revealed the Life Orb on Mudsdale, I didn't see any way you could come back. What could you do? Like Sunny Day doesn't help you. Venusaur doesn't get a speed boosty move from my knowledge. Yeah, I just don't see how you come back in that one. If you currently enjoy the content you're watching and want to see more of it, make sure you check out my other YouTube channels, my second YouTube channel, my Eclipse channel, and of course, make sure you follow the action live on my Twitch channel. All links available in the description down below. All right, looks like we got pretty much your standard Sun team for the most part. The Eliki is what I'm going to have to play around because Eliki is a little bit terrifying, but otherwise I should be able to play around this just all right here. So we have the Groudon, Charizard, Venusaur, Grimmsnarl, Eliki, and Umbreon. So there's quite a few things my opponent can go. I don't think Charizard's going to be brought out here. Probably going to be Groudon, Venusaur. I want to say it's like Umbreon plus like, or not Umbreon, Regieleki, and then one of the dark types. That's what I would imagine my opponent brings here. I'm going to go Zapdos though. Zapdos is really good against my opponent's team. I like the Instant as well, combination wise. I like Diggersby as a switch into Max Lightning here. And then Kyogre in the back because, you know, Kyogre is really good against the Sun team, barring the Venusaur and the Eliki. So if I can get rid of those mons quickly, which is probably going to be the hard part, I think it's really smooth sailing. But I think this is more likely going to be getting rid of the Venusaur for my Kyogre to win. Because I think Kyogre is probably like Groudon and yep, Groudon and whatever is going to be like, yeah, I'd say set up for the Kyogre win is actually, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But Umbreon, Grimmsnarl, lead. Interesting. Okay. I'm just really tired right now. Incid plus Zapdos lead here is perfectly fine for me. So I don't know if they go for Yawn immediately. So that's a little bit of a concern here. Fake out T-Bolt seems pretty solid into the Grimmsnarl. I really like getting the chip damage immediately. And I think it's pretty solid for the most part. So yeah, we're going to fake out the Grimmsnarl and go for the Thunderbolt. We're going to see the swap immediately. So Groudon, really interesting. Okay. Good play on their part. Could have went for like a Hurricane or Heat Wave. Maybe that was better. I didn't think they would go hard Groudon though. Okay, Thunderbolt into the Groudon slot, and the Yawn does come out into the Zapdos. Okay. What's annoying is Precipice Blaze is going to do a lot of damage if they decide to go for it, because they have pretty much free range. But I will go Diggersby here, and I'm going to Parting Shot out the Groudon slot. They might double out the Groudon here, or they might stay into Click Blades since it's probably pretty free. But I could also see them playing passive and going back into Grim. Really solid turn one from them. But let's see if we can come back in this. Don't tell me you're maxing the Groudon immediately, because I'm not sure. Even with this, I guess they're setting up for Umbreon then. Yeah, they do max the Groudon. I'm actually very surprised that they max the Groudon here. Because they're not rock falling. I'm pretty sure you never rock fall in this position. I'm pretty sure you always Quake the Instant. Yeah, it's Quake to Instant, pick up the knockout. Well, that's fine. I didn't have a switch to that. And then this is probably Yawn. If it's Yawn, that's fine. I wonder if I can knock out the Groudon through, probably not, Dynamax and Spadef boost. Doesn't seem likely. Snarl. Okay, that's actually really good for me that they didn't click Yawn immediately. I'll take it. So I can go into Kyogre pretty safely here for the most part. Their last Pokemon should be Venusaur, I'd imagine. However, their only damage dealer to me, it seems to be like Umbreon's a bit of a nuisance and Venusaur, right? So yeah, Water Spout's going to do a good amount here. I wonder if Foul Play can knock out the Groudon with Water Spout combination guaranteed. But if Groudon Citrus Berry, I think they're usually on this team. I think it's better to just high horsepower to Umbreon and just Water Spout. Groudon's taking chip though. We'll see. Water Spout comes out. Really good damage. I think it's Citrus Berry activation. Yeah, so there's no point. Okay, perfect. Big high horsepower into the Umbreon slot. Hopefully is a 2-shot. I mean, it should be. If it knocks out, that'd be amazing. But yeah, I didn't think so. Gonna be Rockfall. Interesting. Oh, in case I baited for the Zapdos. Okay, nice. Perfect. Kyogre's still around. And what's Umbreon doing? Snarl? I'll play. Okay, and a Diggersby. Oh no, and a Kyogre double up. Okay, trying to catch the Zapdos. Big gamble didn't work. Okay. Thankfully, this game has gone from like really bad turn 1. Turn 2 was not great, but it wasn't the worst case because they didn't Yawn, into doable. High horsepower here. The Umbreon slot, and I guess I gotta hit an Origin Pulse. Good luck. I don't have another play. I could EQ go to Zapdos, but I don't think it works out here. Okay, I am able to knock out both the Umbreon and the Groudon. That's nice. Okay. All right. Able to pick up the knockouts on both. Very, very doable game now. Very doable game. And last Pokemon has to be Venusaur, right? They can't max Venusaur though, which is huge. Like no max Venusaur. Absolutely big. I'm just worried about like, okay, light screen's not up yet. Grimmsnarl comes out. Should be Venusaur. Charizard. I have a rock move, right? Okay. If you are switcheroo for some reason, but we're rock falling, the Assault Vest Diggersby. If this is Fake Tears Blast Burn, I just got hit an Origin Pulse and we'll be completely fine. I think, yeah, I'd rather Dynamax the Diggersby here and try to take the knockout on Charizard now. Let's see. We should be able to knock out the Charizard, I think. Let's see. It probably has to go for Heat Wave and Reflect here. Oh, they Thunderbolt the Kyogre. Perfect. So nice. And we can't miss Rock Slide with the Dynamax, which I really like here. They went for Hurricane. Okay, they went for the Hurricane. Okay, they were just going for RNG at that point, which to be fair, yeah, after your position, you kind of have to go for RNG, and the Hurricane looks like was the only way. Rockfall KOs to Charizard. Big Diggersby. Big Diggersby. Why did they not bring Venusaur? I cannot tell you. I guess they thought the Double Dark was good enough, but they didn't get the light screen off. So they did get the special defense boost with Umbreon, which was pretty annoying for me, but Diggersby was able to do some good chip. Kyogre was still pretty good damage. They made an aggressive read, which I think even let's say like that read worked out. Let's say they didn't make that read and KO'd the Kyogre with like Quake Foul Play. I think I would have been fine. I think I just get Zapdos in and I get to click EQ and Airstream and they couldn't stop me. So I think I would have been fine regardless. Or Rock Slide, Airstream. So I think I would have been fine, but yeah, that's crazy because their turn 1 was absolutely insane. And their turn 2 was like pretty devastating for me, but luckily they didn't click that Yawn, which I think was huge. And then afterward was able to, I guess, just do damage because Kyogre just did damage. Diggersby got the chip and then kind of just played it from there. Okay, pretty standard. Calyrex, Shadow Rider, Clefairy, Whimsicott, Tapu Lele. It's just triple fairy with Thunderous, Incarnate Form, and Urshifu. I want to imagine this is probably Darker Urshifu. This could be a little bit of a problem. Tailwind offense isn't exactly my favorite. It's playable, but it's not exactly amazing for me here. I think Zapdos plus Dedenne is 100% to play here, lead-wise. And then in the back is my question, because I don't know what I'm bringing afterward. Am I going... It's probably Kyogre and Incineroar, I want to imagine. Yeah, I guess it is. I could see myself bringing Diggersby. Diggersby doesn't seem too bad, mainly because of the fact that I'm immune to Astral Barrage, and the problem is Expanding Force will do a decent amount, and Diggersby probably doesn't do enough damage back, I think, for the most part. So yeah, I think this is probably fine. Amoonguss is not really helpful in this matchup against, like, multiple psychics. So let's leave Amoonguss out of this and see how this goes. I think this is probably, like... I don't know, Dedenne can just go for like Helping Hand, I think, with the Zapdos, get some Airstreams. I could Electroweb immediately if I really want to as well. Let's see. Clefairy and Calyrex is not a lead I expected. Okay. Alright, this is interesting. Zapdos to Dedenne. Is this Nasty Plot? I'm trying to figure out if this is like Nasty Plot strats. This is fine though, for the most part. Is it? Okay. I'm a little bit concerned here. I'm going to go for Airstream 100%. I think I'm going to target the Clef because there's no safe play here, right? For me. Because theoretically, they could go for Protect Calyrex, Sing with Clefairy, which is a move. Or they could go for like Protect the Clefairy and Nasty Plot, which... I mean, most likely they're just going to follow me and do something. But yeah, like that's why. You know what's funny? I can Entrainment the Clef so it doesn't have Friend Guard. And hit the Calyrex, but I'm just gonna Helping Hand. I'm gonna take the knockout on the Clef. So we're gonna see a Dynamax from the Calyrex, it looks like, immediately. Okay, that's perfect. If it was Nasty Plot, I was way more worried about that. This makes it a lot easier, I think. So we're gonna see the Calyrex Dynamax here. Let's see who they decide to opt to target. They'll get an Airstream boost unless they go for Max Strike here, and then they'll get Tailwind up. I'm kind of concerned about the numbers because I don't know like the numbers if I Electroweb their Calyrex, how the Tailwind numbers are going to affect it. Does my Zapdos outspeed? Like I'm thinking like if they go like if I KO the Clef here, this is what I'm thinking about. If I KO Clef here, assuming I do, then Whimsicott comes out and then Tailwinds. So I max guard Electroweb, and then the third turn is what I'm worried about. So Helping Hand with the Zapdos. Ooh, okay. That's not pretty. This shouldn't KO. What? Okay, out of any play I thought could happen, that was not what I expected. That's fine. It brought up the Misty Terrain. I'm confused about that one, but that works out for me fine. So I'm going to Airstream here this... The Fairy. Yeah, pick up the knockout. Okay. So that worked, sorta. Wasn't the best setup, but I mean, not the worst spot. I don't know. Why did they Starfall? Maybe they thought I was gonna go hard instant. I did think about going hard instant, so maybe they read that, but I don't know. I think like even Max Ghost just like was very, very potential right there. Want to see Whimsicott come out, which is fine. I'm going to Airstream Electroweb the Calyrex slot here. Or Airstream the Whimsicott and Electroweb the Calyrex. Yeah, that's always my play here. This is probably Tailwind, and then Calyrex is either going to pick up the knockout on Dedenne or just attack the Zapdos, which I think is fine. I can see Fake Tears or Helping Hand here, but it is Tailwind, no surprise. And let's see what they do here with the Calyrex. Like, if I protect, it's just going through to protect anyway, so there's no point. And if Zapdos gets targeted like this, yeah, this is more ideal. Okay, this is probably like the best situation I could have asked for right here, because I am able to get a Electroweb off, assuming I just need to hit the Calyrex, really. If the Whimsicott isn't hit, I actually don't think I mind that, but we do hit. I wonder if Whimsicott's eject button. Because if it's eject button and Airstream's in Urshifu, that would actually be interesting. But it looks like that's not going to be the case. Okay. The Airstream's going to come out into the Whimsicott, pick up the knockout. Perfect. That's really solid here. So 1 turn of Tailwind, 3 turns. I don't think I can stall it out efficiently enough, especially if Urshifu's in the back. So Whimsicott goes down here. I really do want to get the Electroweb off into the Urshifu. That's the thing. Sucker Punch shouldn't KO me unless it's banded or like at least some kind of boosting item. Urshifu is going to come out as the last mod. No surprise. Okay. So I'm going to Airstream the Urshifu. Oh, this is crazy, but I really want to avoid the Sucker Punch. I really want to avoid the Sucker Punch. Should I Entrainment the Urshifu so it can't attack or protect? I actually think like that's a 5-headed move here. So it can't like Wicked Blow my Kyogre. I can Helping Hand attack the Calyrex, but it's not going to pick up the knockout. And if I don't pick up the knockout, like the damage in the Calyrex doesn't matter here. So I'm going to Entrainment the Urshifu. It might protect here, which is fine. Okay, I could have Electroweb, shoot. But I did Entrainment the Urshifu, which is interesting at least. So goodbye Unseen Fist. Yeah, plus now. That doesn't change anything here, yeah. So here comes Airstream and Urshifu. Oh, it's not Sash. Okay. So they probably want to lock themselves into close combat, because if they didn't lock themselves into close combat, they just lost through Incineroar. Okay. Woo. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Not the way I thought I would use Entrainment, but this is fine. Max Phantasm going to come out here in the Zapdos, pick up the knockout. That's completely okay here. I get to go Incin here and start throwing out dark type attacks. Yeah, that's basically the play. Because this Calyrex is only a +1 special attack with the Life Orb. Only spread move is Astral Barrage here, and I have multiple chances to hit the Electroweb. Actually, do I even need that? Hold on, I'm trying to think. How many turns of Tailwind? 2 more left. Yeah, two turns left. Okay. So if they can't KO the Incin this turn, they lose the game anyway. If they protect, it's fine because they lose to Kyogre once it comes in, because I did have a max speed on my Kyogre, so Water Spout does outspeed. So yeah, we can go for a Darkest Lariat into the Calyrex, and we can go for a Electroweb here, I guess, because it doesn't really matter here. Yeah, because if they Astral Barrage to take the knockout into the Dedenne, they just lose anyway. Yeah. And if they knock out Incineroar, I have like multiple chances to get the Electroweb off. That's fine. Astral Barrage, yeah, so they just lose because Incineroar comes in. Otherwise, if they like somehow knock down Incineroar, they had like Mud Shot and Mud Shot crits, or maybe Mud Shot. No, Mud Shot I think needs to crit there. I do pick up the knockout with Kyogre anyway. So yeah, as long as it wasn't sub. If it was sub, but they can't have sub, Mud Shot, and Draining Kiss, I'd imagine. I imagine it has Expanding Force, Astral Barrage. We saw the Draining Kiss from the Misty Terrain setup earlier, and then the thing. I still don't know why they went for the max berry. Oh, they thought I could nuzzle. I guess I technically covered it now that I think about it. Yeah, but then they can't get nuzzle. Okay, that makes more sense to me. I guess that's why. Yeah, I actually don't mind that as a play then turn 1. I completely forgot that then he gets nuzzle. So actually, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But overall, I think my position was pretty good there. KO to Clef immediately. Just able to like really set up, I think, a good position, I think, for the end game, where I was able to get some really good control off. The Urshifu, if it was choice locked, it was pretty much locked into close combat. If they Sucker Punch, they would have just lost, I think, at that point. So that was perfect. And if they were Sash, I got the Airstream chip at least. And if they stayed in the Sucker Punch attempt, my Dedenne to pick up a double knock on that position, I at least got the Entrainment off, so I can stall out the Urshifu, I think, okay. So yeah, I think it worked out. All right, what is this team? Serena, Rillaboom, Double Grass. Okay, in Series 11. Series 10, maybe? Series 11, interesting. Metagross, Kyogre, Urshifu, and Torn. This is definitely a big threatening team, though. 100%. Very, very threatening team. So what do I exactly want to go for here? Because this can be terrifying, potentially. Like, really terrifying. Foul play Diggersby? Probably not. It's an option, but I don't really like it too much. I like Amoonguss lead, probably. I like Amoonguss lead. I'm assuming it's probably Brutal Swing on the Metagross. I wonder what kind of Urshifu it is. If it's water, that'd be really good for me, I think. It's dark. Might be a bit more difficult, but I feel like it's probably dark. Amoonguss seems really good here with Zapdos lead, I think, for the most part, because I could go for like a Protect Spore immediately, and I think that'd be really solid. I don't know if Torn's going to run Taunt in this format specifically. We'll find out. I had the Coba Berry on Amoonguss, so it should be pretty safe, I think, for the most part. Kyogre, it's my best way to damage the Metagross. The Double Grass is going to be annoying. Incineroar in the back, I think. I also consider not even bring, I think, the Pokemon that, like, I was considering not even bringing Kyogre because of the fact that Double Grass. But I mean, Diggersby is also really weak to Double Grass, so it was like, what can I really bring that's going to effectively deal with it? And at least I have Ice Beam on the Kyogre. So we'll see. I'm going to be relying a lot on Zapdos in this matchup, but we'll find out. Going to be Tornadus Serena lead here. Okay. Unless the Serena's Taunt, which it probably does. That's fine for the most part. Zapdos plus Amoonguss is pretty solid here. Triple Axle does look pretty scary though. So Incineroar is probably my safest play right here. If they U-turn, it's pretty bad, but otherwise I think it should be fine. This could be Tailwind. This could be Icy Wind. This could just be Hurricane too in Amoonguss. There's a lot of options right here. So this is a really scary spot. I'm trying to figure out a decent position. I think Thunderbolt to Torn's always the right play. And go hard in Incineroar is like the safest option I have. If I KO Torn though and Zapdos gets weakened, it's really, really bad. Like really, really bad. I think this is probably Wakan, maybe. It could be the Life Orb offensive variant. We'll see. Gonna be Tailwind does come up. Yep. This should be Taunt, I imagine, if you're making this play. Triple Axle. Okay, that's fine too. And they do target the Amoonguss. Okay, cool. That's a really good target for me right there. Let's see. I'm hoping that your Torn is hopefully like a Sash. No Wakan Berry. We KO the Torn. That's not amazing for me. Yeah, that's not really amazing for me. I have no idea what the Serena moveset is. At least I know it can't have Feint here. This is probably Kyogre coming out here. And oh boy, Water Spout Triple Axle into Incineroar or the Zapdos looks pretty threatening. And I could definitely see it into Incineroar here. Ooh, tricky, tricky, tricky. Do I have to sack Incineroar? I really don't want to. I don't want to go my own Kyogre because it gets me no momentum. I'm going to go hard in Amoonguss, I think, and I have to Protect here. Or should I just max Lightning? I do think that Protect is probably the right play, though, with the Zapdos. Because I could bank on them targeting the Zapdos slot with Triple Axle, too. And I don't think that would be that bad for me. So we'll find out here. Amoonguss is the safest play. Let's see. This should probably be a Water Spout. If it's Helping Hand Water Spout, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Oh, that's really, really bad. Okay. I mean, if I can stall out the Tailwind effectively, this is an okay position. But yeah, that's not a good one here. So we're going to see the Water Spout coming out into the Amoonguss. As you can see, so much damage. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go for like a Dynamax right there. Because Helping Hand Water Spout definitely would have blown me back. All right, I got to play around this somehow. I think the play is always to go like Kyogre and Incin here because they're the most expendable at this point. So we'll go to Incin and the Amoonguss. I mean, this isn't too bad because as long as Zapdos is healthy, I can take care of it. The Serena will be a -2 at least. It's just really going to come down to what they decide to max because that's what I'm really concerned about. Like what Pokemon they decide to max. What mind game will we be playing with the Kyogre? That definitely could be another potential question, but we'll see. Kyogre going to come out here. And this should be Water Spout, Helping Hand. Yep, again. No surprise. And then I go Zapdos. I'll have turns left. Okay. As you can see, it does so much damage. Like, jeez. Okay. So I wonder if they go for Helping Hand Max Geyser this last turn. I could see it here. I mean, my only place to go Zapdos here. And wait. Does my Amoonguss not have Regenerator? No, it does have a Regenerator. I felt like I saw like it was low HP, but that was Kyogre's HP bar. And I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Okay, cool. Protect on the Kyogre and protect the Zapdos. Then we figure out what to do the next turn, I guess. Okay, they just go for Helping Hand Water Spout, looks like. Okay, that's completely fine. All right. So Tailwind successfully stalled out. That's good. The bad part is, yeah, everything else. Okay. So we do get this position, which is not bad. They still have Dynamax though. I at least preserved most of my mods, I think, safely here for the most part. I could save Kyogre here. I just don't see the reason why I would save Kyogre. It's not really useful against anything against their side of the field that Zapdos couldn't beat, and Amoonguss healthy would actually be pretty nice here. So I'm going to Ice Beam the Serena slot, and I'm just going to go for Max Lightning here into the Kyogre. I Ice Beam the Serena in case it's like Coba Berry and it survived the Airstream from Zapdos later in the game, which I think is pretty important. So yeah, we'll go for Max Lightning here. We're going to see the Kyogre retreat. Something's coming in. Oh, really? Okay. I think that's... oh, this is not amazing. Okay. All right, I gotta think about this upcoming because this is probably Grassy Glide. Good play on their side. Maybe I should have just went hard into Amoonguss. Hard into Amoonguss was probably the right play. Okay. I think we could play out of this though. It's just gonna be a lot harder, and I mean a lot harder. So they don't have Taunt with the Serena. I really wonder if it's that Assault Vest item. I also wonder like what their next play is gonna be. Gonna be Grassy Glide. Yeah, okay. Amoonguss was 100% the right call, looks like. All right. So I really wanted that chip. Maybe it was just greedy. I think Amoonguss was the right play, but I can't do much about it. Max Lightning into the Rillaboom. It's not Assault Vest on the Rillaboom. Okay. Wait, so it's Assault Vest on the Serena then, I imagine. Okay. I wonder if Pollen Puff can knock out the Rillaboom at the range, because if it can, that might actually be the play here. I mean, I always go Amoonguss here. I guess the question is Serena switching out in a Kyogre, because that could be a play, but I mean, the Kyogre takes so much from Airstream, I don't think it'd be worth it for them, so I'm going to Pollen Puff the Amoonguss. I mean, Pollen Puff the Rillaboom, I think, and I'm going to Airstream here the Serena. Because Rillaboom can't really do much damage to my team is a problem. I also don't think it's a Assault Vest, so I don't know what it can do. Yeah, they do switch out to Serena, which I think is fine for me. The Kyogre is going to come in, okay. So let's see what the Rillaboom is. Probably just Fake Out? Yeah, Fake Out, okay. That's fine. All right, tricky position because the Serena is probably going to have Max then. Yeah, I could have Max Lightning called it, but I wasn't 100% sure because they could have sacked Serena to get in a Dynamax Kyogre and Max Guard on the last turn of Trick Room. So I wasn't 100% sure on this one. Okay. The Kyogre is pretty weakened. I don't know if it has Ice Beam or not. I don't even know. It could be Scarf. If it's Scarf, that'd be really good for me, I think. I'm going to Pollen Puff my Zapdos. I do need HP on the Zapdos, I think, and I'm just going to Airstream. I think I always have to Airstream the Kyogre, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think I always have to Airstream the Kyogre. I could Pollen Puff the Rillaboom, too. How much HP is going to matter? Like, if the Rillaboom switches out, I think Pollen Puff is the right play in the Rillaboom. Because the chip damage in Serena means the Dynamax is harder for them. Because I could see U-turn or Heart Swap from the Rillaboom. No, they should always U-turn. They should always U-turn if they have it. Otherwise, they should stay in. Rillaboom Protect. Ah, free Pollen Puff I could have had. Okay. The Airstream in a Kyogre is able to pick up the knockout. I just really should have Pollen Puffed the Zapdos because... Okay. It's doable, though. I might have to hit a Hurricane, though. Because... Oh, wait. Hold on. No, I think I needed to Pollen Puff my own Zapdos. This is not good. Because I think Pollen Puff is going to be the play in the Zapdos. The main reason for this is because I can't Rage Powder the Serena's Triple Axle, which is something I kind of forgot to think about here. Oh, well, I'm going to Pollen Puff the Rillaboom, and I'm going to Protect here, I think. They have to always target Zapdos. I don't see the point of targeting Amoonguss where it's basically useless at this point. They should max always to Serena and they're going to Hailstorm. And then next turn, I could go for Hurricane Confusion, which could be an ideal, or I could go for Double Protect. I think both theoretically can work. If this is like an attack in the no, it should always be in the Zapdos because if Zapdos gets Heat Wave and like Hurricane crit, you lose. I think it always has to be in a Zapdos. We'll find out though. Protect the Zapdos. Hailstorm should be in the Zapdos. Yeah, okay. I might have to live a knockoff though from the Rillaboom at this range, which I'm not sure. I think it could be double in the Zapdos, and I do think that's like a really likely play here, but we'll find out. High horsepower. Don't think this should KO. Yeah, and I'll live Hail. I don't think I live 2 turns of Hail, which is pretty bad. Okay, I knock out Rillaboom. That's a really good knockout. Crit. Don't know how much that mattered because I have no idea what this Rillaboom investment is. It definitely didn't look especially defensive though. Okay, Zapdos, you might have to hit a Blind Hurricane. You might have to get a Confusion because a burn doesn't save me here, I think. Yeah. So I need a crit. If crit can put this in Pollen Puff range, there's a chance. But yeah, we got to go for this Hurricane and Pollen Puff into the Serena. No other choice. Confusion, and we don't even hit the Hurricane. God dang it. Okay. I mean, it wasn't too bad. The Grassy Glide I just completely forgot about for some reason. Like, that was definitely an option that I probably should have considered. I got a little bit greedy, I think, and that's just what cost me. They definitely did make the best play possible with the Grassy Glide because it did heavily punish me right there. Man, I got the Pollen... Wait, is that Assault Vest? That Pollen Puff did so much. Even with the crit, it did so much. Okay. But yeah, I think it was just that one turn I just got heavily punished and definitely was way easily avoidable by just going hard into Amoonguss right there. I would have had resources. I could have got more regenerated health. And then I kind of made a bit obvious targets, I think, with the Airstreams, which I think I could have like capitalized way more on, which would have helped me. And that is the show. Oh, Diggersby. Not exactly. I think I could have gotten this in more fun positions. I really wish I could have foul played a Calyrex Ice Rider. I think that would have been really fun, but unfortunately we did not get to because we didn't face any. But if you did want to try out the team for yourself, you could grab it with this rental code right here. You have 2 weeks to grab it before it expires. Paste may available in the description down below. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below, as it really does help me out. But otherwise, you can go check out my other content featuring more Series 11 teams. I got Series 12 in the works, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And you can go check out my BSB doubles content if you want more action Pokemon battles wise. But otherwise, that's going to be it. Have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.